Everyone, back tuning into this evening's update. Very late with this evening's update, being having more problems with the recording software. Actually, it turns out to be the microphone we was using that was causing all of the trouble. So I'm back to using the microphone that comes with the webcam. It's only a little microphone, so it probably won't sound as good as you'd be used to, but at least we can get the recordings done now until I can get another decent microphone. So yeah, that's what the problem was. Hopefully from now on we'll be able to progress with the videos. I'm just going to have a quick look at the weather next week to 10 days in today's video. I'm going to rattle through it very quickly, so I won't mention anything else. And we've got a big warming coming up early next week. It's not going to last more than a day or two. So these are the GFS temperature and precipitation ensembles. The red line here is the 30-year temperature average. You can see at the moment we're actually a little bit below the red line, so we're a little bit below average. But over the next few days, going up to the weekend, and inside of next week, you're going to see a push up in the temperature, becoming really quite warm indeed for a time as we get through into the early part of next week. So Sunday, Monday, peaking on Tuesday. You see, it's not going to last long though. The temperatures very quickly drop away as we go down into the middle of next week, and we go back below the red line. Actually, we go back below the 30-year average once we get through into the middle part of next week, and then beyond that, it looks like it's going to be relatively cool. There's no sign of another push up in temperatures in the foreseeable future. Precipitation spikes also will be coming back as well. We've got some rain coming into our. That's going to be more for northern England, Wales, and possibly into the Midlands. This is the ensemble for London. It doesn't show much precipitation there in the southeast. Well, then generally quite dry up to the weekend and start of next week. But rainfall spikes do come back through the middle part of next week, implying that as it cools off with its dropping temperature, also it's going to be turning more unsettled as well, with some rain coming through. The temperature anomaly for the coming week, this takes us from the 7th to the 15th of May, shows it's going to be around average, a little bit above average in the south, a little bit below perhaps up in the north, but generally not deviating too far from north. That's be a little bit warmer than that, actually. I think once we get to tomorrow and probably Saturday, it takes into account more the warmth that's coming up over weekend, start next week, that probably will go a bit redder. The rainfall anomaly shows we're going to be a bit wetter than average in the north, and west, drier than average in the south and the southeast. Here's the GFS chart for Sunday. High pressure ridging up from the south. This low pressure is out in the Atlantic, keeping it unsettled up to the northwest, but the high pressure should keep things relatively settled in the south and the southeast. As we move through into the early part of next week, we have the high pressure building over Central, pulling up this southerly wind, and as we go through into Tuesday, that's going to be the peak of the warmth, I think, with those southerlies bringing the air up from France. Could turn very warm for a time. That these areas of low pressure are threatening, and that high pressure is on its bike really going off in towards the east of Europe very quickly, allowing these low pressures to return back in. There's the extent of the warmth with the upper air temperatures though really pushing up, getting up to 15 Celsius in the southeast. So it does get that high on Tuesday afternoon. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see temperatures around 26 degrees. That's getting close to 80 Fahrenheit just for one day next week, because as we go through 24 hours on, this is for Wednesday, we see much cooler air pushing back in off the Atlantic. So it's only a very brief plume of hotter air and then cools down. There's the temperatures for Tuesday afternoon. We're up to 24, 25 degrees quite widely across England and Wales. I say we may be able to increase that a little bit more to 26. Notice over France, much of France is up to 27 or 28. That's 81 to 83 Fahrenheit. Not all that far away from the south coast, but of course it's got to come over the channel, that hot air, and the channel is still relatively cool because we're only in May. But there is potential for some really warm weather just for a brief period early next week. So the low pressures come back in through Tuesday as that high pressure collapses into the east of Europe, and by the time we get through to Wednesday we're back into an Atlantic flow then, and that really takes us through the rest of next week with this area of low pressure dominating, bring cool air in off the Atlantic, and also unsettled. There'll be bands of rain coming through. There's tight packed isobars there as well, so it'll be windy, and that goes on into the second half of the month. We go up to day 10, Sunday 17th of May, and the low pressure up to the north of Scotland, bringing down this cool northwesterly flow, and it's unsettled as well with that one. As for GFS, UCMWF is in agreement. There's the southerly winds bringing that warmth up from the south excuse me, on Tuesday, but the high pressure very, very quickly collapses. By Wednesday, we're back into that westerly Atlantic flow. And then that takes us through the rest of the week. Unsettled conditions with showers, long spells of rain, and quite windy as well. We finish up on day 10, relatively cool and unsettled. Quite a deep trough in there over Scandinavia, but maybe signs of the Azores are beginning to start to ridge up into the country, although this low pressure in the central part of the Atlantic will probably roll over top and keep the unsettled weather going. But that could just be the first hints of a bit of a change by certainly the 17th of May, perhaps back to high pressure. But overall, it looks like we're going to be in continuing to be in for an unsettled period. We will get this drier, warmer phase through Sunday, Monday, and peaking on Tuesday when temperature could get up into the mid-20s, but then after that it's very quickly swept aside as the Atlantic returns, and overall it is an unsettled pattern that we're in, taking us into the second half of the month. Okay, I'm hoping that it's all recorded okay, and we'll be doing JMA Friday tomorrow if everything sets up alright. We'll be looking at the month ahead, which will take us into June with the Japanese model. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.